Today's topic for discussion is replication of viruses. Like any other living beings, viruses also multiply but with different way. They cannot multiply on their own. They do not reproduce by division independently because the viral nucleic acid cannot duplicate by itself. There are no raw materials to produce fresh nucleotides, neither is there an enzymatic machinery to assemble them together into a duplicate molecule. Viruses multiply only when they are in living cell. The DNA or RNA of the virus takes control of the host cell metabolic machinery and new viral particles are produced utilizing the raw materials from the host cell. Replication of viruses is studied in bacteriophages. Two kinds of replication cycles occurs in phages. These are the two cycles are virulent or lytic cycle and number 2 that is temperate or lysogenic cycle. Next slide. In the lytic cycle what happens? In the lytic cycle the viral particles multiply inside the bacterial cell. After the formation of new viral particles, the host cell or the bacterial cell breaks down and all the viral particles are released. This happens in lytic cycle. Next. Lysogenic cycle. Let us see what happens in lysogenic cycle. In the lysogenic cycle, the viral genome or that is genetic material gets integrated with the bacterial genome after entry into the cell and it is called prophase. The prophase multiplies along with the bacterial genome. There is no independent multiplication and without causing any harm, any damage to the host cell. At same stage, however, depending on the environmental conditions, the prophase may be separate from the bacterial genome and start a lytic cycle. As the lytic prophages have been studied in great detail with reference to viral multiplication. The topic discussed here is mainly based on them. However, in other viruses also multiplication is the same as in T1 phages. Let us see the main phases of multiplication or replication of bacteriophages. The main stages involved in the replication of T1 phages are the following phases written here, that is attachment of the phage particle to the host, absorption of virus particle, separation of nucleic acid from coat, penetration into the host. Next slide. Effect of phage attachment on the host cell metabolism, replication of viral genome that is nucleic acid, synthesis of viral protein that is capsid, viral protein is known as capsid, assembly of new viral particles and release of viral particles from the host. Next slide. Let us see in detail the attachment phase of viral particle to the host. Host is here bacterial cell. Okay. Attachment to the host cell. What happens in this? The viral particles comes in contact with the host cell surface. The tail plate of the virus attaches to the surface of the host cell and anchor itself firmly with the help of tail fibers. The attachment of tail plate to the host cell is highly specific and chemoreceptor regulated process. Certain proteins receptors present in the tail capsid of the virus can recognize receptor sites on the host cell surface. It has been noticed that E. coli, that is the outer, in this case, the outer lipoprotein layer in peptidoglycan covering has many receptors for pylage attachment. Okay, next steps. This is the second step in reproduction of bacteriophages, that is adsorption of virus particle. What happens in this? Initially, the attachment of the phage to the host cell is reversible, but later it becomes irreversible. Some steps this that the receptors of the host cell surface are complex polysaccharides which can bind the phage on the antigenic specificity. The absorbed phage has its head perpendicular to the cell surface. If the host cells are capsulated, the enzyme at the tail top of the phage hydrolyzes the polysaccharides of the bacterial capsule, boring a tunnel through which the wall can be reached. The receptor in the phage is mannose transport protein. The receptor in bacteria sometimes may be present in pili, in which case some coleophages are male specific, that is they attach to the pili sex only. Okay, next step, that is separation of nucleic acid from coat. Several authors studied this stage of the reproduction of viruses, and they have shown that the phage DNA carries the genetic information into the cell. Injection of DNA into the cell does not require any energy from the host. After the DNA injected, the coat remains outside. The naked DNA temporarily loses the infectivity until the production of new viral particles. This temporary phase is called eclipse. Okay. Next step, the preparation into the host. The nucleic acid together with the internal proteins is released from the capsid after the virus is irreversibly attached to the host cell. It penetrates into the cell at the sites where the inner and outer membranes are in contact with each and remains associated with the membrane physically. The phage DNA is protected against the membrane nucleases of the host by its associated proteins and by DNA modification. A highly specialized mechanism of injection of DNA is seen in the T1 phages. Electron microscopic studies have revealed that after the tail plate is fixed to the cell, the tail sheath protein becomes contractile and pulls the collar and the phage head toward the basal plate and pushes the tube through the cell wall. When the tube reaches the plasma membrane, DNA is ejected. The energy necessary for contraction is derived from the ATP present in the phage tail. Lysozyme present in the tail may also help DNA penetration by the opening in the bacterial cell wall. Let us see next step. This is the effect of phage attachment on the host cell metabolism. In this stage, the attachment of the T phage by itself causes disorganization of the cell membrane. This brings in a various metabolic changes including stoppage of protein synthesis of the host cell. These changes sometimes lead to cell lysis even without viral multiplication. Next step, it is replication and viral genome or nucleic acid step. What happens in this? Viral nucleic acid molecules produce many replicants using the enzyme machinery of the host cell. Host cell nucleus is the site for the multiplication of viral DNA. Next step, synthesis of viral proteins. This is the seventh step in the process. At this stage, synthesis of viral protein takes place. In order to produce a capsid it is a viral protein. Fresh viral proteins are to be produced. First, some enzymes are synthesized. These produce proteins peculiar to phage called early proteins, and later the late proteins are produced which develop into subunits of head and tail, inside the host cell. At this stage, bacterial metabolism including DNA, RNA and protein synthesis comes to a halt. Okay, next step. Assembly of new viral particles. At this stage, the phage DNA and capsid proteins are synthesized separately in the bacterial cell. The phage DNA is then condensed and pushed into the head and the tail is added. The process of assembling the parts of the virus into a new virion is called maturation. Next step. This is the last step in this process, that is release of viral particles from host cell. When the phage polycyses are being produced in the host cell, the wall of the bacteria get weakened considerably, that becomes very weak. Further viral enzymes, that is which are produced in the bacterial cell, act on the cell wall, resulting in its bursting open. The bacterial cell bursts open. As a result, phage particles are released outside and they infect other cells whenever they comes in contact with the new cells. This is all about reproduction in bacteriophages or T1 phages. Next slide. This is the process of the stages of life cycle or of the bacteriophages or reproduction in viruses. Thank you very much. Be clean, be safe.